This is My Child Will Thrive, and I'm your host, Tara Hunkin, nutritional therapy practitioner, certified GAPS practitioner, restorative wellness practitioner, and mother. I'm thrilled to share with you the latest information, tips, resources, and tools to help you on the path to recovery for your child with ADHD, autism, sensory processing disorder, or learning disabilities. My own experiences with my daughter, combined with as much training as I can get my hands on, research I can dig into, and conferences I can attend, have helped me to develop systems and tools for parents like you who feel overwhelmed trying to help their children. So sit back as I share another great topic to help you on your journey. It's episode 16 of the My Child Will Thrive podcast, and here's what's coming up. Today we're going to speak with Alex Doman. Alex is the founder and CEO of Advanced Brain Technologies, co-founder of Sleep Genius, founder and director of the Movement Program, and best-selling co-author of Healing at the Speed of Sound. He's part of the third generation in a family of pioneers in the field of child and human brain development. Alex has focused his career on sound, music, digital health, and technology, and their capacity to improve brain health and performance. His production credits include co-producer of Music Healing at the Speed of Sound, Music for Babies, and In Time. Executive producer, creator, and collaborator on numerous other products and technology, including the Listening Program, which we'll speak with him about today, Brain Builder, Sound Health, Music for the Mind, Waves, Multisensory Audio System, TLP Online, TAVS, or Test of Auditory and Visual Skills, and the NASA-based sleep technology, Sleep Genius. We'll also touch on that near the end of the interview. Alex Doman has been interviewed for NBC, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, The Today Show, and many, many other publications and television shows. He has written for publications in journals, including Sound and Listening in Healthcare and Therapy, Autism Research and Treatment, Autism Science Digest, SI Focus Magazine, Autism Asperger's Digest, and Cutting Edge Therapies for Autism. He's also the host of the Listening Program radio and podcast with guests including one of our summer guests as well, David Perlmutter, Daniel Siegel, MD, and Michael Merzenich, PhD, and many other thought leaders. He lectures internationally and has trained thousands of allied health, education, and music professionals in brain-based applications of sound and music. And he serves as an advisor to Sanison, Neuropop, Aurora Schools, Autism Brainstorm, and is a member of the board of directors of the Autism Hope Alliance. Alex Doman has been named as one of the top 50 human behavior experts to watch in 2017. So we're so glad to have him here with us today. What you're gonna learn today from listening to his interview is why sound is important to the early development of the brain, how sound impacts the autonomic nervous system, and why this is of particular importance to autism, ADHD, and sensory processing disorders. What symptoms parents can recognize in their kids when they're struggling with dysregulation, inappropriate development, and the function of the brain. How the ability to calm the sympathetic response through music will help emotional regulation and sleep. Why improving the child's ability to regulate the autonomic nervous system and the sympathetic response will translate to improvements in other areas of health, such as immune function. We'll also dive into what the Listening Program is, what it looks like, what symptoms does it address, and what a parent and child can expect if they use the Listening Program, and right down to what ages you start with a program like this. Before we get started with today's interviews, I want to remind you that the information provided in the interviews and on the website of the Autism, ADHD, and Sensory Processing Disorder Summit is for information and educational purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose or treat your child and is not a substitute for working with a qualified practitioner. There are many gifted, passionate, and knowledgeable practitioners with hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours of clinical experience. Part of our goal is to give you the knowledge and tools you need to effectively advocate for your child. No one knows your child better than you. No one knows your child's history and can better judge what's normal and abnormal for your child better than you. The greatest success in recovery comes with a parent being informed and asking the right questions and making the best decisions for their child in coordination with a team of qualified practitioners in their different areas of specialty. Now let's get on with the interviews. It's amazing how we all come into this field in varied ways. A lot of the people that the practitioners we're going to be talking to over the course of the summit are people that have come into the field because it's affected their families. And then obviously yours goes beyond that in terms of generationally growing up in this field, which is really spectacular. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about today was the science behind the listening program and doing listening therapy. So getting a better understanding of why this type of therapy has such a positive impact on the brain and can retrain the brain to behave in a way that helps the kids function better.
Great question, Tara. I think it's important to set up that we're wired for sound as human beings. One of the first senses to develop in utero is the auditory vestibular system, so the cochlea and the vestibule. And 16 to 20 weeks in utero, we are hearing for the first time. So we're actually hearing in the womb, and our first form of learning about our environment is through sound. So sound begins to shape the brain very early in our developmental process. So the sounds that the child is hearing in the womb, the internal sounds of the mother and themselves, and then the external world are beginning to shape impressions of the world and an early understanding of environment. So we're wired for sound, and 24/7, 365, we're taking in sound. We don't have earlids, so sound is always influencing us. When we're asleep, our brain's monitoring our environment for safety. So we're listening, if you will, to see if we're in a safe place. So sound serves as an important survival tool for us, our auditory system monitoring our environment for safety. And that's, of course, evolved in our modern world. And it's important to also understand that the ear regulates our movement. So our vestibular system, our balance, our coordination, our muscle control. So the ear is a pivotal part of our humanity and our understanding of our world and our ability to respond to our world. So a program like the listening program, which is a very specific therapeutic music listening therapy, is designed to help the brain recognize the basic foundations of sound, which are frequency, volume or amplitude, temporal aspects, which are time, and then the space around us. So what we do is we take those components within music, right? These are all elements of music and music composition. And we enhance those natural attributes through the arrangement of the music, the way we have our musicians perform, the recording techniques that we use, and then what we call post-production neuroacoustic processing that we do to the music to help the brain recognize these components. We learn through repetition and we learn through training. So this is like a physical exercise, weightlifting for the brain, but for the skill of listening. And as we improve our listening skills, we can then better monitor and respond to our environment in daily life.
I find it all is so fascinating because when you talk through all those different things and the different aspects of how our hearing and the development of our ear. Thanks for listening to the My Child Will Thrive podcast. I'm so passionate about giving you the tools and information you need to help your child. For access to the full interview as part of the Autism, ADHD, and Sensory Processing Disorder Summit, please go to mychildwillthrive.com/summit. This is Tara Hunkin, and I will catch you on the next episode.